We see these headlines all the time, right? Plane crashes.
Yeah.
Always tragic. But, sometimes the details get lost in the initial reporting.
Absolutely.
So today we're going to do a deep dive into this crash that just happened. A Jeju Air flight from Bangkok went down while trying to land at Muan International Airport in South Korea.
Oh, wow.
This just happened today, December 28th, 2024. Rescue efforts are still underway as we're recording this.
Gosh, this is awful. It's just so important to remember that there are real people at the heart of this.
Yeah.
We're talking about 175 passengers and 6 crew members.
Yeah.
181 lives just suddenly impacted by this.
Yeah.
So that's really what we're going to be exploring today, along with what we actually know so far about the crash itself.
Yeah, because it's not just statistics.
Right.
The BBC News article that we're looking at is pretty stark. At least 28 fatalities have been confirmed so far.
Wow.
Sadly, that number could rise.
Yeah.
They found 2 survivors so far, 1 flight attendant and 1 passenger. And both were rescued from the tail section of the plane.
That's an interesting detail. The fact that they were found in the tail section. You see, aircraft design often incorporates stronger structural elements in the tail to help it withstand greater impact forces.
Oh, interesting.
So statistically, there's a slightly higher chance of survival in that area during a crash.
Oh, wow. That's incredible. I mean, it's still a miracle.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what happened. The plane veered off the runway and hit a wall. Do we know what kind of wall? Like a perimeter wall? A building? What are we talking about here?
Unfortunately, the initial reports don't really specify the type of wall, but any collision like that at speed is going to cause significant damage.
Yeah.
And, local media are suggesting that the cause might have been a bird strike.
Bird strike, I've heard of that. But how serious can they be? Are there systems in place to prevent them?
Yeah, so bird strikes are a constant concern for aviation. Yeah. Even a small bird, if it's ingested into a jet engine, it can cause catastrophic failure.
Wow.
Yeah. So airports actually use a variety of methods to try and deter birds.
Oh, interesting.
Things like sound cannons, pyrotechnics, even trained falcons sometimes.
Wow.
But it's an ongoing challenge for sure.
Yeah, that makes sense. The article also mentioned some pretty disturbing details. There's unverified footage circulating online that apparently shows the plane skidding. The impact, and then a section of it bursting into flames. There's even a photo that shows this huge black plume of smoke rising into the sky.
Yeah, that smoke, that's a strong indicator of fire, which obviously creates a whole other layer of danger for anyone on board. Fuel leaks, burning debris, potentially toxic fumes. It creates an extremely hazardous environment for those rescue teams.
Yeah. Speaking of which, the response has been massive. 32 fire trucks alone.
Wow.
It really highlights the scale of this whole tragedy. And when you think about it, most of the passengers were South Korean, 173 out of the 175, with just 2 Thai nationals. It makes you think about all the families that are waiting anxiously for news, the international impact of it all.
It's heartbreaking. And it really brings us to one of the most important questions, I think, in the aftermath of any aviation accident.
What's that?
Okay. What can we learn from this?
Right.
What advancements in technology and pilot training in airport safety procedures could potentially mitigate the risk of something like this ever happening again?
It's a sobering thought.
It is.
This crash, with all of its specifics, just reminds us that even in an age of all this incredible technological advancement, air travel still has inherent risks. So what does this all mean for you listening? We've got a tragic event, we've got lives lost, we have an ongoing investigation, and we have a lot of unknowns. But more than that, it's a chance for us to all think about what steps can be taken to make flying safer for everyone. What innovations in aircraft design and airport infrastructure could prevent future tragedies. That's something I really hope you'll keep exploring after listening to this.
Yeah, I think that's really important.
That's it for our deep dive today. We'll be back with another deep dive into another interesting topic soon.
See you then.
See you then.